All right, we are back again on the Cowboys Report because I want to talk about Trevon Diggs and the report. Maybe it's just actually straight up rumor at this point out there on Diggs. Of note, this is my off day, to borrow a quotation device usage from Stephen Jones. But this is important, so I want to discuss it. It's the one off day I get the before and after Combine week of 20 straight days, but I don't really care. This is too important. So hit that sub button for more Cowboys YouTube videos so you do not miss out. Now, as you might have seen on Twitter and in post, I'll try to get the tweet up here. The original Pretty Rickey is back. Now, we discussed Pretty Rickey not that long ago. Rickey was the people's insider who was able to have a pretty good track record of stuff he was breaking. He's now going by Slick Rick. He's Slick Rick Scoops. He actually has had a pretty good week. He was on Debo. He was on Aaron Rodgers and the Giants. He was on a lot of different things that had success. And he is now saying the Cowboys are shopping Trevon Diggs and plan to trade or release him by March 17th. So I do want to go in depth on this because A, you guys have asked about this before, not this specific report, but Diggs' future. B, this is not the first time that I have either seen or, in the other time, been told that there were issues with the Cowboys and how they feel about Trevon Diggs and a cut being possible. There are contractual issues here that very much stand out to me as a problem, and it's a big reason why I've kind of poo-pooed this in the past. There's been a potential developments on that front that I want to get into as well, with some changes that have gone on with some of the contract sites that really stand out to me that's noteworthy. But in general, if you go, I don't want to believe Pretty Rickey, I get it. It's a dog Avi on Twitter. I get it. I totally understand. But I believe that this channel is at its best when we talk about what people are talking about. Sometimes that's news. Sometimes that's the OSA contract. That's the combine. That's the draft. Sometimes it's very obvious. So it's stuff like this. And trust me, I get it. If this is not for you, that's fine. No hard feelings whatsoever on that front. I get it. It's not for everyone. But I did want to just, kind of shoot the shit and discuss this a little bit here. So I'll break down the Rickey reports. The money I want to spend extra time on, because it's complicated. So I apologize for no graphics because the graphics are very helpful in that front. But I want a prediction first. Will Trevon Diggs be on the Cowboys in 2025? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, great. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. So back to the Rickey reports. The March 17th date being included in that tweet is not an accident. Maybe a dog whistle to an extent. On March 17th, Trevon Diggs' $9 million 2025 base salary becomes fully guaranteed, which means no matter what he's getting it. This is the problem and why I've kind of poo-pooed this idea in the past. Because you can go onto Spotrac and Over the Cap and cut him and go, oh, sweet, there we go. Now we're saving a bunch of money because the base salary is not counting as guaranteed. Here's the issue. And the first time I was told about this, the person who told me didn't know about it either. Trevon Diggs' base salary from both Over the Cap and Spotrac is guaranteed for injury. So in theory, the $9 million you're saving, you actually don't save that. You don't save that cash unless the Cowboys can somehow get out of that. And I think that kind of transitions us into, and we'll come back to some of the money stuff and big picture stuff as well, because there is $1 million in per game bonuses. But if you don't think he's going to play because he's injured, then it doesn't matter. And I think that the crux of the issue here, I don't think it's about the money. I think that you can go back to Clarence Hill's reporting, training camp time last year, which I think others had mentioned too. You can, just in general, I don't think the Cowboys liked how Trevon Diggs attacked his rehab, at least early. He definitely got better at it. I know, and I'm not taking shots here. I want to make that very clear. I know Micah was like, Diggs was working out great and all that, which I think is true once Micah got in the building. Micah wasn't in the building because he didn't need to be early in the offseason. He wasn't in there. When the Cowboys wanted Diggs busting his ass and rehabbing, Micah wasn't there, so Micah didn't know that. But when Micah was there, Diggs was working hard. But the Cowboys thought Diggs was behind. I think that's how you balance those two reports and claims from Clarence and Micah. I just think that there was a lot of frustration with the way Diggs attacked his rehab. In general, I think the Cowboys are mad at Diggs. I think that I think there is real frustration from that front office. But I think the trade side of this is borderline impossible. I would be very surprised if anyone wanted to take on what amounts to $10 million in cash for Trevon Diggs this year, a $9 million guaranteed base salary because you're trading for him, you're going to guarantee it, and $1 million in per-game roster bonuses. Maybe you don't pay out the full $9 million, maybe it's less than that, but that's telling to me that I think you'd have a tough time trading him. So then it comes down to the release aspect, and the release aspect is complicated. Right now, Diggs is a $12.65 million cap hit. And that's both OTC and Spotrac. The base salary is $9 million. The roster bonus is $1 million. Now, this is where things may have changed from the last time we really went in-depth talking about Trevon Diggs. You can go look at Spotrac. You can go look at Over the Cap. I use those salary cap sites because I can understand what they're saying, and they have all the contract details, and it's kind of easy. They don't always disagree. And what is telling to me is that right now, Spotrac and Over the Cap are disagreeing on what the Trevon Diggs signing bonus was. Now, that had been widely reported, including by ESPN's Todd Archer, of a $21.25 million signing bonus. Now, if that is the case, the overall dead money the Cowboys would owe Diggs with the guaranteed base salary, if they cut him, it would count on their cap right now, is $21.75. So you're losing significant salary cap space if you were to cut Trevon Diggs right now. Now, you can do it as a post-June 1st cut. And if Spotrac's numbers are right and the base and the signing bonus was $21.25, the difference there is you're staring down the barrel of roughly $0 saved on the cap. You save about $1 million in cash, which you may have saved anyway coming off the injury. You don't save anything. You're just kind of eating money this year. You're eating some money next year. You're saving a little bit of money next year, given the overall cap hits and everything there. It's not terrible, whatever. But Over the Cap disagrees on what the cap hit is, right, or the dead money is. They don't have that signing bonus as the previously reported amount of money. They've got it right now at $3 million per year of money left on the contract, which is different than what Spotrac had originally. Now, what is noteworthy to me is that Spotrac is currently listing the 2024 signing bonus hit as $3 million. So something screwy happened here, which is not unheard of, but is unusual and rare. And if Over the Cap is right, the dead money is $18 million total, and now you can save a little bit of money with a post-June 1st cut. You could also make the signing bonus or the base salary into a signing bonus and save some more money. And now you're kind of like, okay, this is doable. That is a change from the last time, a couple weeks ago, whatever, we talked about Trevon Diggs and did the cap cuts, and I mentioned him there. So you can actually save a few $1,000,000 if Over the Cap's numbers are right, if you do a post-June 1st cut. Now, I still think the report doesn't realize the $9 million base salary is guaranteed. Because if that was the case, you could post-June 1st cut him and save $10 million if Over the Cap's numbers are correct. I think that report is missing that the base salary is guaranteed, but you can still post-June 1st him if Over the Cap numbers are correct. This is complicated. I just spent like 6 minutes on that, and I hope you guys understand it. I wish I had the graphics for it, but I didn't want to wait on it. So it's complicated. So tying it all together, there might be some savings, more than I'd previously known and or thought, which makes it a little bit more likely they actually could cut Trevon Diggs, which is noteworthy to me. I'll do this I'll do surprise cut candidates, and I'll go ahead and put Diggs on there now. But this is, I don't want to completely dismiss it. I still have my doubts simply because you're not really saving any cash in the end. You're not really saving any money, and there's probably injury insurance, which maybe that's where the difference in the money came from. I'm thinking out loud right now. Cowboys put injury insurance on players, and they're able to recoup some money when injuries happen, maybe that's a factor. Maybe that explains the slight differences in the signing bonus stuff, and they're able to recoup some of it. That's all speculation on my part. I want to make that clear. That looked really weird with just barely on the screen. Maybe that's all speculation on my part, and it is all speculation. But I just want to acknowledge it. I'll do some digging on that front. But I did want to acknowledge this report from now Slick Rick instead of Pretty Boy Ricky, and then he was Ugly Ricky for a little bit, and Ugly Ricky wasn't as good. You can put that on it. That's fine. That's totally fine too. So overall, what is your concern level over the cornerback room in Dallas? How big of a need is it? How big of a need is that cornerback room? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. Get your votes in. I know it was a little bit rambly of a show today. Hopefully it makes some sense. Feel free to comment, DM me on Twitter, and I'm sure we'll know more in the not-too-distant future.